In this video, we'll learn how we can use regular expression to validate IP addresses. So here is a quick demo. These are the list of different IP addresses. Some of them are invalid. And you can see that it matches the valid one while skipping the invalid one. So let's get started. Now before we go into regular expression, let's just quickly go through some of the rules for IP address validation. Now this video is for IP version 4. There is also IP version 6, and this video is not taken that into account. Now here are some examples of IP addresses that are valid and some of them that are not valid. Now the rules are basically there are 4 integers which are separated by dots, and these numbers usually range from 0 to 255. Now anything above 255 would be an invalid IP addresses. If it contains some alphabets, that is also an invalid IP addresses. So here is the list of all the green ones are the valid one, and all that are in red are invalid. And this is the regular expression that we just used at the beginning. And we are going to break this into smaller chunks so that we can really understand what the regular expression is doing. Alright, so let's go to Notepad++. I'm going to use Notepad++ for this example because it gives an easy and quick way to validate or just check what we are doing. For that, you need to make sure that the search mode is set to regular expression here. Basically, you can do Control F or search and then enable your regular expression mode. Alright, so here is that list. Some of them are valid, some of them are invalid, and we want to test this using regular expression. Now the simplest way to just check for 4 numbers with a dot separator is I can do something like this. The number is 0 to 9, and then these numbers are from 1 to 3 digits, and then followed by dot, and I had to escape the dot. So this is the first one, and I can just repeat this second, third, and fourth time, right? And I need to remove this. And this is the most basic test for just 4 numbers. Each of them are about 1, 2, or 3 digits for separated by dots. So let's test this. So I'm going to just do find next, and it seems to match these, so that's good. And all of these are matching, but look at the next one. Now the next one starts with 292, which should be invalid, but it still matches those. And so here is the problem. In fact, let's go to the number 12, line number 12. Again, it seems like a invalid IP address, but this regular expression still matches those. And so we need to do a better job at validating these. Now we have to break this into a number of smaller chunk, as I mentioned, and so let's go through that. Now as we look at these numbers can range from 0 to 255. Now I cannot just simply put something very easy to select all 0 to 255 numbers, so I have to break them into different sizes. Alright, so let's take a look at this one. Here I'm assuming that there is a number from 1, or actually 0, I can do 0 also, 0 to 99. So basically this one has numbers from 0 to 99, and we'll try to match these. Okay, and so let's try to build a regular expression. So I can do 0 to 9, 0 to 9, and a question mark. Now what does that mean? This means that it will match anything from 0 to 99. This question mark means it's an optional, so this particular, the very first will select 0 to 9, and then from 10 to 99 this whole string will match that. So let's test this. So I'm going to keep my cursor here, and I'm going to do next, and you can see it is matching all those numbers. And then it'll try to match, but it didn't match the whole number. So this will only be valid, and I'm going to write it here, valid from 0 to 99 using this one, right? Now as the digit becomes 3 digits, then again we have a little bit of a problem, because it only matched a part of it, if you notice just now, right? And so here is what we can do. We can just put 1 here. Okay, so now it will be 1 followed by, these two numbers. So 1 to or 100 to 199 should be matched by this regular expression or regex. So let's test this. So I'm going to say, okay, that looks good. Go next. As you can see, it is matching those, and then of course it goes back. But now we can see that this particular string, valid from 100 to 199, and this is my regular expression. Now the next 3 digits starts from 200 to 255. We cannot go over 255. So you might wonder, how can I do this? So if I do put 2, do you think that will work? Now the problem is, it'll definitely match till 255, as you can see. And if I go next, but then it will also match something that is greater than 255, like this. So we don't want that, right? That is invalid number. And so you might say, well, what should I do? Maybe I should just put 5 here. Okay. Well, now there is a problem, because what will happen is, as I start matching these, let's go back to the cursor here. Next. Oops. Yeah, it's only matching this for some reason, which I'm not sure. But anyways, so that is also not good enough, actually, because okay, so the reason why it did that is because we said anything that ends with 5, so it will not match any of the other number that doesn't end with 5. So that is definitely not a right approach. And so here is what we have to do. We have to select a regular expression for numbers from 200 to 249, and then we also have to handle these few other numbers. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 2 and 0 to 4, 0 to 9, right? So if you take a look at this number now, or this expression, it starts with the first digit, which is 2. It'll match anything from 0 to 4 as a second digit, and then 0 to 9 as the third digit. So this, now if I test this, you can see it is matching all these. It won't match anything ahead of that. It'll go back, right? So that's fine. So we can say here, valid for 200 to 249, and that is actually this one, sorry. Okay, we are almost there. And once we combine all these, you can see the magic, right? All right, so the last part, which is just this 6 numbers, and we want to only allow 250 to 255. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 2, 5, and then 5. So now you can see that it will match the very first 2 digit will be 2, 5, and then 0 to 5. So this will, as you can see, it'll match all of these. But if it is about 255 or below 250, it will not match. And so that seems to be a reasonable number to 255. This is the one, right? All right, so now that we have combined pretty much everything, or all the valid numbers, we can merge all of them together. And so here is what I'll start with this actually. So let's start here, and I said this. Now these the IP address can be any number, right, from 0 to 255. So we have to use OR operator, which is this one. And so this, I'm going to pick this also, right? And then I'm going to pick 100 to 199. So or this, and then the last one, which is this. So or this. So now this particular string matches anything from 0 to 255. All right. Now this is just one of these matches, but we have to match for four of them, and also in the middle there is this dot. And so let's take a dot first. And so in order, because it's a literal dot, I need to escape that. So I'll do escape character and dot, right? And I'm going to put this into bracket just to make it easy. And I'm going to select this. Okay, so this is only for the first number followed by dot. And so all we have to do is just repeat this 4 times. So second time, third time, and fourth time. Now if you remember, the fourth time, the last one does not have dots, so I can remove these. And this one is our IP address validation regular expression string. So let's test this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. Before we continue, let me just quickly show you the channel page. I post new videos about Notepad++ very frequently, and so you can visit my channel. I have a number of playlists on that, so you can take a look at that also. And if you like this content, please subscribe and support my channels. All right, let's continue. I'll go all the way up, put my cursor here. I'll go here, paste my IP address regular expression, and now let's see if we can validate these IP addresses, and let's see if it is able to identify all the right ones and skip those that are not right. So I'll go find next. So that is good. The next seems right. The next one is right. That's fine. Now the next one it should skip. So it did. Well, okay, it didn't skip it. So what happened here? Well, it tried to match only these 92, and so one way to escape this, or one way to make sure that this doesn't occur, we can say that these IP addresses lines starts with the right at the beginning and ends at right at the end. And actually I'm going to put dot in one of these, like here, and that should not match because that has 4 dots, right? And so I'm going to copy our expression again and then paste it. Let's go back and test one more time. Next, that's fine, that's fine. Now it should skip, hopefully. So it did skip. Now the next one should also skip because there are 4 dots, and you can see it did skip that. That's fine. Now because there is a 300 as one of the number, it should also not pass. Neither are these next 3 ones because it has some alphabets in it. So it'll go directly to 16, line number 16, and so on. And so you can see how we can create this. Looks like a pretty complicated regular expression, but basically it's just a 4-digit validation. Now there are better ways to combine these, and if you look at if you go online and search for these, you can also merge this into a little shorter one, and I would have you try that and see what exactly they are doing. But again, sometimes in regular expression, simplicity is better than making it really complicated but very difficult to really understand. And so but this is exactly the same as the one that I showed right up front, right here. I just divided that into 4 lines, and so this should be pretty foolproof IP address validation regular expression key for any application. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you understand. I have broken down to very small chunks so that you guys can understand. If you like this video, please click a like button, and I post many such videos about Notepad++, about just programming in general. So please subscribe to my channel and support my channel. All right, thank you very much.